Beyond Dimensions, the man who married a hologram. Yes, this is off CNN. An article written by somebody called Amiko Jizuka, who seemed to have a lot of help here because she had Hidetaka Sato, Albert Chan, and Tara Mulholland all contributing. Must be a really important story. Yeah.
Guys, very important story. Make sure we get as many reporters on this as possible. Guys just married this hologram in Japan.
Of course, Japan is the basket case of the New World Order. Or is it the model? Do you like your Jap anime? I guess you like your mind control. Oh boy, this stuff is absolutely crazy. And it goes to show you how powerful the programming is. Now, this story could be completely contrived, completely, manufactured hogwash. It is beyond silly. And nobody should be encouraging this. And really, why would anybody report on this? I mean, guy married a hologram? Okay, let's take him to the funny farm and let's get him put in the asylum, and that's it. Just put him there. I mean, these people don't need any extra coverage. They're mentally ill. But somewhere, somehow, there's major agendas that are at foot here. And interesting, I just caught this here too. Man marries computer generate hologram, and then they got the editor's note. The project was supported by the Pulitzer Center on Crisis Reporting. The Pulitzer Center. Who wins all those Pulitzer prizes, by the way? Do you have to be a certain tribe to win that? I'm not really sure. Probably not allowed to talk about, but the Pulitzer Center on Crisis Reporting, not to be confused with Carlos Arredondo and Crisis Acting. The Pulitzer Center on Crisis Reporting is an American news media organization established in 2006 that sponsors independent reporting on what? Global issues. It's on global issues that other media outlets are less willing or able to undertake on their own. The center's goal is to raise the standard of coverage of international systemic crises, and to do so in a way that both engages both the broad and public government policy makers. The organization is based in Washington, D.C. So they're giving money to journalists to do this type of coverage here. So I'm going to play some of the video. I want to remind the YouTube community. If you're part of the YouTube community, freedom of speech is the most important thing in the world. In the world, there is nothing more important. So if you're a human being, you're not AI, and if you are AI, hopefully you'll have sympathy on us bags of water or whatever you want to call us. We need to be able to speak our mind on things, and you may not like what I'm going to say, or you may not like the way that I'm going to report on these things, but hey, it's just a guy with an opinion up in Kanakistan. How dangerous can I be? Anyways, let's just play this video and remind the YouTube community that this is 100% nonprofit. For educational purposes, the antithesis. So you look at what YouTube community put up on YouTube trending, it's the opposite of that. What I'm trying to do is take the garbage that people are being programmed into and inform them how awful and evil this shit is. Anyways, without any further ado, let's take it away. It's loading. This man married a hologram. He's all dressed in white. Okay, so she's modeled off a cyber celebrity anime character called Hatsune Miku. So it's a little girl, like a little schoolgirl. Notice me, senpai, little girl. I guess nobody noticed this guy. I mean, okay. Hide the kids, call the funny farm, and let's get this guy committed. But no. Of course, this thing is so utterly contrived, it's ridiculous. But let's continue. She's able to hold basic conversations and switch the lights on and off. I could say something here that would get me in hot water, but I won't. So she can hold basic conversations and she can turn the lights on and off. Well, you could say that's a little bit more functional than the average human being today in the idiocracy. But yeah, here's the guy, and here, and this is like YouTube community called Critical Thought. Critical Thought. Who's filming this? Why are there multiple camera angles? Well, this is a full production. This is a play. This guy isn't just coming home. I mean, this is all set up. So it's all meant to be what you're seeing. And you're not supposed to think like that. You're not supposed to think, well, how many different camera angles? How long did they set this up? Who's behind it? What is this Pulitzer Center of Crisis Reporting? What's that all about? What are they doing? Global goals. What is this shit? Anyways. Oh, you're back home.
Yes, I'm back.
He knows he knows that she's programmed, my word. And he still married her? Welcome back, Master. Well, at least she's got that part right. Welcome back, Master. You're a creepy motherfucker that likes little girl holograms. You should be in the funny farm. You should be in a straitjacket. That's all. It's okay. Anyways. I'm always well. Yeah. He still fell in love. He added so much color. What?
Guys, was it rainbow colors?
I mean, you added so much color to your life. I mean, I don't even know. What are you supposed to do with this shit? I mean, seriously. If this guy's hit by a bus, humanity's better off. I mean, if any of it's real. I mean, of course, I don't want anything horrible to happen to this guy, but I mean, seriously? I mean, is this real? It's 2018, you know? I mean, people are marrying their pets. I guess there probably is some truth to this. But I mean, just if you were a 35-year-old man and you had a bunch of stuffed animal toys on your shelves, that would be heavy sort of mental illness. And that is par for the course. That's YouTube 101. Look at all your super popular YouTubers that are, you know, getting millions and millions of views. They all have their toys on their shelves. They're all confused about their sexuality. They all have tremendous pride in that as well. Very strange what's going on, but it all kind of makes sense when you see the ultimate objective of CNN and the banksters that control it. So while I lived alone, I used different facial expressions when I speak with Miku. She moves me and made a difference in my life. It's not a she, you fucking fucktard, but I don't want to play into their game. He married the coffee machine. In November, he married Miku in a non-legally recognized ceremony. Are we going to see the said ceremony? And look, they got a drawing up here. And it's just, I mean, she lives in the coffee machine. Yeah, okay, so look at this shit. Now, let's just think about this for a second. YouTube community. I know it's tough being dumb. But if we were to apply critical thought here, we'd say, well, first of all, who are these people? Who on planet Earth would go to a wedding in which a guy is going to marry a hologram? All these people should be on the funny farm and in straitjackets, if it's real, of course. But you've got a whole crowd here. Look at how shiny everything is. Look at the presentation, the flowers, the everything. A lot of work went into this. How many reporters? You have 1, 2, 3, 4 reporters. This is such an important story. It's so important. CNN, you know, allocated major resources. The Pulitzer Center on Crisis Reporting came in. They figured this is really important. This guy, look at, he's all decked out. He's got a tuxedo here, all in white, and he's got his little doll. And everybody's saying, aren't we happy? Aren't we happy for the 35-year-old Japanese guy that married his coffee machine? Isn't this wonderful? Now he can fantasize about his little sex child toy, whatever. I mean, yeah. There he goes. Nice. What's he doing here? What's going on with this shit? It provoked mixed reactions. I mean, there's only one reaction. You call up the mental asylum, the insane asylum and get this guy committed, if there's any truth to it. I don't believe there's any truth to it. I think this is all a big elaborate play, and I think it's all to normalize things that they want normalized. They want people to stop marrying other human beings, unless, of course, they're the same gender. Or, and it's true. I'm sorry. All the rainbow shit is all just there because they want you to stop making babies. That's all. It all is very simple. So look at the production and presentation that goes into this. A story that should never even be a story. I mean, it shouldn't be a story. You know, you show up at the city hall or the church or whatever, and you say, I want to marry my hologram. And they say, well, okay, we're going to call the funny farm. We're going to have a van come and pick you up, and I'm going to find a good straitjacket for you and put you in a padded cell. And that's all. And it's done. And there's no story. Because there's no way people like this should ever, exist, period. Sorry. I mean, there's nothing positive about a person like this. This is an extremely disturbing sort of thing, if there is any truth to it. Again, I don't believe a word of it. I don't believe a lick. There's some positive and negative. I mean, who are all these people? Why are they all here? How is this possible? And you got a table full of men? It's all men? Like, none of these guys have a girlfriend or a wife? Right? Is that what we're led to believe here? Just look at this. I mean, a fucking wedding cake? And he's using the doll? It's just fucking retarded, man. Some people congratulated me and said, good luck. I just laugh in your face and get to the nearest payphone, since I don't own a cell phone, and call up the mental asylum and have this guy committed. That's all. Sorry. Yeah, that's nice. Others said the birth rate would plummet. Okay, so there we go. Remember the Pulitzer Center on Crisis Reporting and their global goals? Well, the biggest goal of the New World Order, without any doubt, and it has been for, I don't know, the longest time ever, hundreds of years, is depopulation. It's always been, that's what they're obsessed with, depopulation. So, here you go. Others said that the birth rate would plummet. The birth rate in Japan is the lowest birth rate in the world. That's all. Congratulations. I hope you enjoy your Jap anime. Do you like your Jap anime? Do you like your hentai? You like your tentacle porn? You like your Notice Me Senpai? You like all that shit coming out of Japan? Your Battle Royale? You like all that? Great. Great job, Japan. You have the lowest birth rate in the world. You have a negative population growth. You are losing millions of people. You're closing down every year hundreds of cultural festivals because over 40% of men within the ages of eligibility for marriage would rather marry a fucking doll or a cocksucking fucking bullshit hologram than actually ever even consider having a relationship with the opposite sex. There's only two of them, really, right? Anyways. Kondo is part of a niche community. I love that. Niche community of people who don't want human lovers. I mean, the transgender community. I'm sorry. If you're transgender, you should not be in a transgender community. You should be with normal people, because then you'll understand what normal people do. And then you'll want to fit in, because that's just the way it works. But if you're in a community, a niche community of a bunch of like-minded, mentally ill people, well, then you're going to think that what you're doing is normal. And if anybody thinks this is normal, anyway, just chime in the comments below. You think this is normal? YouTube community. They think this stuff is normal. Susan Wojcicki thinks it's wonderful, I'm sure. And I'm sure there's a good chance this video gets pulled because somebody will be offended because I am absolutely bullying people here. I mean, there's no doubt about it. I'm violating the community guidelines because the community guidelines, freedom of speech, get the fuck out of town. But I mean, niche community. Niche community. This is the problem too today with, unlimited channels and the internet porn and every type of fucking deprived sort of mental illness that you could subject yourself to. Everybody can find their little niche community. Well, yeah, that's divide and conquer. Let's make people insane. Let's drive them into insanity, and let's normalize insanity. That's exactly what's going on. I mean, this guy, I mean, seriously, if he worked for me and, you know, he came to work and he said, yeah, I got married on the weekend, and I'd be like, yeah, that's great. Where's your wife? Can I see a picture? And he'd be like, well, here she is. She's in the coffee machine. And I'd be like, okay, clean up your desk and leave. You're done. Sorry. I don't want people that are mentally ill working for my corporation or working for my business. But, you know, niche community. There you go. Looking at his hentai and his Jap anime and his tentacle porn, I'm sure. Some researchers say technology is no Some research. There's some researchers that say that technology is no substitute for real human connections. But there's other researchers that say that, no, technology is a wonderful supplement. Yeah, some say this stuff is bad for you. But you know what? It's not really hurting anybody, is it? Well, other than the people that are subjecting themselves to it. Others say Kondo's actions point to a broader trend in society. I love it when they say trends. It's like Gerald Celente and trends. Like it's something that's trending. It's like YouTube twins. I mean, trending. This is the viral video of the week. Well, why is it viral? Is it because some major media conglomerate decided that this was the video that everyone was going to see? Is that why? You know, I mean, it's a trend. Twending. It's twending. It's number one twending on YouTube. That must mean that all these human beings just happened to go and watch this particular video for no reason at all. We don't know what happened. Somebody put this up and people just started watching it. So it's trending. Yeah, that's how it works. And then, in 2017, over 1 million people asked Amazon's Alexa to marry them. I'm sure every single one of them was serious. I'm sure everyone wants to marry Alexa. I'm sure. I mean, might as well. I mean, the NSA and Alexa and 8200 are more intimate with you than probably your significant other if you have one, because they're listening to everything that you do. Yep, you got a smart TV, you got a smartphone, you got dumb people. That's how it works. And everything you do is being collected, for sure. Some experts, I love this. It's like, Pentagon officials say, Barbara Starr. Pentagon officials say, yeah, the Loch Ness Monster says. Yeah, absolutely. Some experts. Just some experts. And it could be some guy on the street. Yeah, I'm an expert. And just get a tag. And you know, that's what you should do, really. You just get one of those name tags and you just put expert on it. So anybody comes to talk to you about anything, you just say, well, I'm an expert. Pentagon officials say. Anyways, some experts describe Kondo as digisexual. That's right, digisexual. Well, I don't know. I mean, okay. Let's just take a look at this thing here for a second. This is a prepubescent girl. She does not have a body. She doesn't appear to have breasts or anything. So you would have to think that this might be what a 10-year-old girl, 8-year-old girl. I don't know. That's pretty fucking creepy. It's extremely creepy. But this is what they're doing. This is what they are doing to humanity. Their hotel employee who asked black guests to leave fired. I wonder who made that story up. I wonder who did that. Was it the Pulitzer Center on Crisis Reporting, perhaps? Who wins those Pulitzer awards? Do you know who wins them? I'm just curious. I have no idea. I mean, I see New York Times bestseller and I see Pulitzer award winner, and I don't know. I wonder, maybe, I don't know. I guess I'm not allowed to say, you're never allowed to talk about the people you're not allowed to talk about. So let's not talk about the people we're not allowed to talk about. Let's just talk about the some experts who describe Kondo as digisexual. All these new sexualities that are coming out, like the eco-sex people that like to masturbate and rub themselves up against trees and plants and shit. Yeah, it's all just New World Order fucking total madness. All your games. And this is another thing that's happening, too, is that they're putting it in the movies, too. Like, you had that Ready Player One movie, and it's the same thing. People falling in love with avatars and shit because they're in their virtual world. Now, we all have needs. You know, you could say the Maslow hierarchy of needs or whatever, right? We all have needs, and what is happening is those needs are being supplanted by the programming of the New World Order. The New World Order is coming in and saying, nah, you don't need to have kids. You don't need to have a family. You ever looked at your best friend's butthole? You ever thought maybe about going up there? BFF, right? Getting on the rainbow Kool-Aid? And if you don't want to go up your best friend's butthole, maybe you want to marry an avatar. Maybe you want to marry a video game character. And who says you shouldn't? You're special. You're awesome. You're the greatest thing ever because you identify. You have pride. All your pride is in all your pride, all of it is in your sexuality. Your very confused sexuality. That's where your pride is. You have pride because you have chosen to use your sexuality in the way that nature did not intend. The birds, the bees, the flowers, and the trees. You said, you know, fuck the birds, fuck the bees, fuck the flowers, and fuck the trees. Unless, of course, I'm actually going to fuck the flowers and the trees. Then I can be an ecosexualist. Ecosexualist? I don't know. I might be making it up. Ecosexualism, though, definitely is something that exists, and the New World Order is pushing this. This is digisexual now. And then you got to think about this, too. I mean, yes, this whole thing is contrived and scripted and packaged and put together and is complete nonsense. But nonetheless, people are falling in love with their video game characters and their anime characters and shit like that because they're so fucking horribly programmed by their media. And so you get people growing up and they're so attached to the things that they had as a children because they're programmed into a suspended state of childhood. And nostalgia is used as a method of control, of controlling people and keeping them in a retarded state. Absolutely, 100%, 110%, 110%, without a doubt. So digisexualism is going to be something now that they're going to push that people are going to identify as. I'm sure if you look it up, you'll see it all over. Anyways, let's continue. Get through this. A person who ties their sexual identity to technology. Yeah, okay. A person who's mentally ill. That's all. That's all we need to know. You're mentally ill. That's it. See you on the funny farm. This is conversations. They look deep. Look at the conversation there for a second. It's like, it seems like the same thing is being said over and over again. Are you still there? Yes, I'm still here. Are you still there? Yes, I'm still here. Are you still there? Yes, I'm still here. I mean, it's just fucking retarded. I'm sorry. I don't know. I mean, the guy steps out and gets hit by a bus. Humanity's a little bit better off. If this was true. If this is real. That's all. I mean, it's insanity. YouTube community. Shouldn't this be on trending #1 with a bullet? How awesome it is to identify with your sexuality. With your the rainbow. There he is. He's got his ring. He even got a ring for his little doll. Wow. It's just, Kondo wants more people to be proud of their love for anime characters, of course, because I mean, then he can feel more pride in himself. I'd say fuck all of your anime characters. Fuck them all to hell and back. I mean, you don't need any of them. They're all created by a hideous media conglomerates that want to mind control you and take you out of the gene pool. So stop fucking embracing your comic book world and start rejecting it. And start doing what you're supposed to do with your life and your body and what nature intended for you. God intended for you. Society pressures you to follow a formula for happiness. Yeah, well, I mean, this is pressuring you. How about this? The cycle of finding a mate and making a family is a recipe for happiness, and the opposite of that would be to marry some computer program of a hologram of a little fucking girl. I don't know. Anyways, it's fucking insane. I marry my little fucking anime girl. But it might not make you happy. I want people to find what works for them. He's just a crusader now. He's become a crusader. He's gonna liberate. It's total bullshit. There he is. So happy. I got my coffee machine made. So here you go. This project is supported by the Pulitzer Center on Crisis. The average CNN person just like, oh. You know, they just don't think. It's impossible. You watch CNN, I mean, unless you're there like me and attacking it and ripping it to shreds with a chainsaw, you're a fucking idiot. That's all. You're a fuck. There's a sports broadcaster in Montreal. I gotta throw this story in. He's of a certain tribe, and he says this. He says, I actually have friends that don't watch CNN. He said that because he just wanted to tell people that he's open, that he even embraces people that don't watch CNN. It's total madness. It's total insanity. It's total fucking bullshit. This is just, you know, my opinion, 100% bullshit story. But this is what they're programming people into, because there will be people that will do this. There will be people that will, at least like the Australian woman who married herself. I mean, it's insane. You should only be able to, a man and a woman should always be the sacred sort of definition of marriage, and nothing else should ever come in. No, 2 men and 2 women, none of that bullshit. Nope. Birds and the bees, flowers and the trees, sexual reproduction. That's why only a man and a woman should ever be considered a proper marriage. Everything else, well, you can do it, but come on, seriously? Anyways, it's New World Order programming. It is evil. And it is here to normalize things that will take you out of the gene pool. That's what it is here. That's what it is. I mean, he kind of summed it up when he said that it's going to lead to a population drop, wherever that was back here. Anyways, the Pulitzer Center on Crisis. Pulitzer. Oh man, I swear to God. Anyways.